Hello and welcome to today's video as we travel from Wellington to Auckland on board NZ416 on an A320. Let's go flying. I make videos about planes and one train, so if you like what you see, please hit the subscribe button and turn notifications on. You can also find me on Jet Photos, Facebook and Twitter. Links are in the description. Thanks for watching. Before boarding the flight today, I stopped off in the Air New Zealand crew lounge for a quick bite to eat. I gained access through my crew status, as well as my status as Star Alliance Silver with Air New Zealand. Welcome on board ZK-OJR on NZ416 to Auckland on this Airbus A320-232 current engine option. This aircraft was delivered to Air New Zealand back in 2011 and has been there ever since. It is one of the first domestic configured A320s and thus does not feature any personal infotainment screens.
Please stow any bags and laptops securely, either up in the overhead lockers or under the seat in front of you. If your bags have wheels, please place these in wheels first. And to assist the flight attendants, please close the lockers, clear the aisle and take your allocated seat. Call me if you need me. And this message is from the New Zealand Government and Air New Zealand. You are required to wear a face covering while travelling with us today. We do have face masks on board if you do require a mask or a change of mask. Face coverings must cover the mouth and nose. Remember to keep your hands clean when fitting and removing the face covering.
Alex, pleasure to take you northbound to Auckland. Just apologies for the late running of the service. The aircraft was late coming in from Auckland, had a crew change, so we're just getting underway as quickly as we can. Good news is flight time 50 minutes up to Auckland. We'll take off to the south here, right hand turn to climb up to our cruise altitude. Auckland weather is about the same as here, but Alex will update you with the actual expected arrival time and what's happening as we start our descent. Meantime, we'll leave you with Ashley and her team. Thanks for choosing to fly with us.
Flight attendants go to your door. Hello everyone, as the forward door is now closed, ensure your seatbelt is fastened. Approved lightweight handheld electronic devices may be used at any time, however these must be switched to flight mode now. Although Wi-Fi is not available on this aircraft, you are welcome to use Bluetooth. So after selecting flight mode, turn Bluetooth on. Flight attendants, check your doors are closed. Flight attendants, arm your doors. Morning ladies and gentlemen, welcome aboard our flight NZ416, now bound for Auckland. My name is Ash Masters, your in-flight service manager, and it's my pleasure to introduce the Wellington-based team this morning. Working alongside me in the forward of the cabin is Rachel. In the rear half of the cabin we have Rihanna and Penapa. We're here for your safety as well as your comfort. If there's anything we can do for you, please don't hesitate to ask. On behalf of all of us here, we'd like to welcome you aboard the Star Alliance flight operated by Air New Zealand.
Remember, just pull down on the mask, place it over your nose and mouth, and tighten by pulling both sides of the elastic. Don't worry if the bag doesn't inflate. Oxygen will flow easily. Make sure you've got your own mask on before helping children, or those less able.
Wait for me! Bye! There's now over 400 taka here thanks to places like Tiri Tiri Mātangi. It's a breeding sanctuary.
You might meet a Mrs. T or a Mr. T. Your life jacket is with an easy reach. It's under your seat. They're easy to fasten sitting down. Just rip back the tag, place it over your head, clip the strap together and tighten. Only pull on the red tab to inflate after you've exited the aircraft. For more inflation, blow into the mouthpiece.
We've got life jackets for all sizes, even infants.
If we need to evacuate the aircraft, emergency escape pathfinding will show you the way to the exit. Your crew are now pointing out your exits. They could
Kia ora, Jamie. We can't wait for Mr. T to meet his new whānau.
I'll miss you too, Mr. C.
To all our passengers, feathered and human, thanks for flying Air New Zealand.
Let's keep working together to protect our beautiful Aotearoa.
So, where to next? Everyone, buckle up.
Flight attendants, you must now be seated for takeoff.
Takeoff today is on runway 16 at Wellington International Airport. friendly cabin crew have just come around to do their light snack service with a choice of a biscuit or corn chips. That said though, this won't be for long as Air New Zealand have begun playing with fire and have just begun trialling new snack options with items such as apple crumble ice cream, caramel popcorn, mandarins, sandwiches and wraps, all on a potential new menu. The seats on these domestic A320s are rather basic, but that is fine given the routes that they operate. Up in the front they feature generous legroom as well as a seat pocket and decent sized tray table, as well as a safety card and Kiora magazine, which is Air New Zealand's in-flight reading. This contains a profile on Air New Zealand and the work that they're doing, known as the Insider. And it also features Air New Zealand's route map, showing our route from Wellington to Auckland. As well as Air New Zealand's fleet, ranging from the Bombardier Q300 to the 777-300ER, which they have just announced will be making a return by the end of this calendar year. Up on the passenger service unit you have a personal air vent and reading light, as well as a crew call bell, but never use this. I have however noticed that the seat neighbours tray table is absolutely filthy. I question when Air New Zealand last cleaned it, particularly in the COVID era. It's disappointing to see that the cleaning teams haven't gone to the extra effort. Air New Zealand do not have personal entertainment screens on their domestic A320s. Instead, an old style fold down screen will fold down and display an in-flight quiz. Prior to landing, Air New Zealand's signature lollies are distributed. This is a tradition that has been around since 1978 when they were introduced on the domestic predecessor to Air New Zealand, the National Airways Corporation. These help with depressurisation of the cabin during landing.
Welcome to Auckland, everyone. For your safety, you must remain seated with your seatbelt fastened until the seatbelt sign is turned off. And do take care when opening the overhead lockers. Items may have shifted during the flight. They could fall out on you or somebody else. It's now safe for the transmitting functions on your electronic devices to be turned back on. Now we may be disembarking using the rear stairs as well as our forward air bridge. For those of you using stairs, please take care and use the handrail provided. Ensure you follow the clearly marked paths to the terminal, and electronic devices must not be used until you're inside the terminal building. And if you're connecting onto an international flight today, there is a free transfer bus that departs every 15 minutes outside door 4 of the domestic terminal. Or if you would prefer to walk, just follow the signs and the green line painted on the footpath, and this walk should take about 10 minutes. Well folks, we hope you've enjoyed your flight with us today. Once again, we do apologise for the late running of this service. We hope this hasn't inconvenienced your travel plans too much. From all of us here, your Captain Paul Martin, First Officer Alex Hood, and your Wellington-based cabin crew of Penapa, Rachel, Brianna and myself, Ash, would like to thank you for choosing to fly with Air New Zealand, your national carrier on the Star Alliance network. Take care, have a safe and enjoyable stay here in Auckland or wherever your travels do take you, and we look forward to seeing you next time. Mā te wā.
Thank you very much for joining me on today's trip report from Auckland to from Wellington to Auckland on board ZK-OJR.